Every year, nearly 1.5 lakh lives are lost on Indian roads in road accidents alone. That's about 20 lives an hour, a life every 3 minutes. Just let that sink in for a moment. All of this is down to the fact that in India, we haven't had a proper driver training and assessment facility where people can actually learn the proper rules of the road, behavior, and manners.
The Delhi government decided to find an easier, more transparent, yet comprehensive, consistent, and stringent method of assessing applicants who apply for driving licenses. In collaboration with Maruti Suzuki, the Delhi Transport Corporation set up 12 automated driving test centers positioned around the city. At the ADTC, applicants are evaluated over 20 different parameters, which are in line with the Center Motor Vehicle rules. The facility is calibrated for 4-wheelers and a separate one is set for 2-wheelers. Once you have your RFID card, you are then allowed to enter onto the track for your test. Maruti Suzuki, along with IDE MIA, a global leader in augmented identity, have developed the automated driving test track solution.
Now, what is interesting about this facility is that there are these high definition cameras, as you can see above, that are positioned in strategic areas. They use image processing technology.
The software alerts the team monitoring the driving test, and only if the driver clears a test, they're allowed to proceed to the next.
So throughout this entire track, you'll see this yellow line. This is a line as a marker that the camera recognizes up there. And if you touch this line with your wheels or you cross this line more than 3 times, you, I'm sorry to say, have failed the test. So now I have my RFID card that will allow me access to the track. Now with my 10 years of driving experience already, let's see how I fare.
For the driving test, the first is a reverse S. Once you clear the first hurdle, only then you're allowed to attempt the figure of 8, which is number 2 on the list. After that, the third test, you have to do a quick zigzag to simulate an overtake and then stop at a red light. Once it goes green, then you're allowed to move towards the parallel parking maneuver test. Should you clear this, then you're allowed for the fourth and final test, and that is the gradient. You have to stop and hold at an incline for 8 seconds. Then you have to restart and reach the finish line. For the 2-wheelers, however, the test is more simplified. It starts with a straight ramp test to check the rider's balance. Then the rider must navigate around a slalom course to check their ability to maneuver the vehicle, and then come to a straight and stop. At any point during the test, should the rider's feet touch the ground, they would fail the test.
Needless to say, with my 10 years of driving experience, I was able to ace the test, thankfully. Now, this is the room where all the magic happens. So the cameras are linked to the system over here, and they can monitor all the movements and the parameters of the test track from here, and then you're given your evaluation on your driving. So if the monitor detects that you have crossed the yellow line, it'll give a prompt on the screen and it'll let you know if you have passed or failed. There's a few things that you need to consider before you come for your driving test over here. To make sure that your documents are in order, make sure you have applied online, you have a printout of your form that you have gotten from on the online registration, and the QR code has been printed with you in your hand when you come here, along with your driver learning permit. And according to your appointment time that's mentioned for you, make sure that you're here at that designated time, because all of this process is automated. The second thing that you need to take into consideration is that this track is not very wide. So make sure you get a car which is small, a little compact, and something that you're comfortable with. Make sure you're seated properly and comfortably. Make sure you fastened your seatbelt, and lastly, make sure you've set your mirrors properly, because if you can't see the yellow line, you're probably going to clip it. The technology is extremely impressive. There is no doubt about that. And I've actually had a great time coming to this center and learning about the technology, how it works, and interacting with people about their experiences?
Fantastic experience from the day I came for the learner's license. Actually, I had to get a renewal. I had an old license, the booklet kinds. That's why it took me the whole process of getting a learner's license and then getting a test done for the final regular driving license. What was fantastic was nobody had to talk to me. Everything was done online. Only once the documents were ready, I come and submit it, and then the process is done. So fantastic, seamless, and the best part that I liked was I didn't have to speak to anyone. Everything was just about like a breeze.
मेरा सेकंड टाइम था, लेकिन मेरी बाइक बड़ी हो गई थी, वरना स्प्लेंडर वगैरह से तो हो जाएगा, मेरा बड़ा इजी है, बाकी बुलेट से तो मुश्किल ही है, ना के बराबर है। फैसिलिटी बस ये है, नंबर लेट आता है बाइक वालों का, कार वालों का पहले आता है और बाइक वालों का काफ़ी टाइम लगता है। मैं सुबह से वेट कर रहा हूँ 9 बजे से। आगे ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस के लिए बेस्ट है।
While all of these tests are necessary, there are a couple of tests that I feel is something that needs to be considered and improve this facility even further.
But a multi-module test may be what is required for Indian road conditions. One must be evaluated on high-speed driving abilities, merging onto traffic at intersections, proper seating position, assessment of driving under pressure in traffic, sudden braking tests, and also, very importantly, a vigorous theory test. It all needs to be very, very comprehensive. The tests that are currently being conducted seem elementary. After observing applicants throughout the day, at least 50% of applicants are still failing. That speaks a lot about India's driver training program. No one can fault or question the technology that has been developed and implemented by IDEMIA, Maruti Suzuki, and the Delhi government, as over here, things are only black and white. There are no grey areas. A driving test may be a solution for simplifying the process, but driver training should be the first step, and that is what needs to be addressed. Without proper training, expecting people to clear a test seems a bit counterproductive.
While I am impressed with this technology and the test track that they've built, in addition to the initiative that the government and Maruti Suzuki have taken, but there's still just a little bit more to go to make it a wholesome initiative. Until next time.